And of course, man, these teams, I told you earlier, these WNBA franchises that moved games like the Chicago Sky to the, United Arena, you're screwed. We know Caitlin Clark was lost yesterday to an injury for at least 2 weeks. Now, the thing about it is they're going to reevaluate in 2 weeks. You're done. You're cooked. Nobody is going to show up to this thing. Chicago Sky can't sell out their own 9,000-something seat arena like it is. They couldn't when they were kind of decent.
What happens when a single athlete carries an entire league on their back? Caitlin Clark's injury didn't just sideline her. It shattered ticket prices, left arenas half empty, and exposed a shocking truth about the WNBA's reliance on one player.
Good. Too bad. I mean, it's more statistical proof, data, to confirm exactly what we've been saying, that Caitlin Clark is driving this whole ship. Well, I think this pretty much closes the book on its Me Too. They're tuning in for Me Too. Oh, the WNBA's not going to like that. Oh, those Angel Reese trolls online that are trying to come for me. And this whole bus, she's driving it. Everybody else, get in the back.
But here's the kicker. Can anyone else step up to fill the void? Stick around because the data we're about to share will blow your mind. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Imagine this. Caitlin Clark is announced out for at least 2 weeks due to a minor injury, and suddenly the WNBA sees one of its biggest games take a nosedive.
The depths of Hades. By the way, what also changed? Caitlin Clark's MVP odds. We'll look at that here in a minute, and I'll give you my take on that. Here we are. Yikes. They're a dumpster fire now, and now that Caitlin Clark is injured, oh, the ticket prices for the Fever and Sky game just plummeted to Hades. It is bad news for the WNBA. The Caitlin Clark effect has been a net positive for the WNBA and all of its teams. But the star guard expected to miss a minimum of 2 weeks.
The Indiana Fever wasted no time confirming the news, leaving fans who'd already circled these matchups in red scrambling for refunds. But here's the real shock. Within hours of that announcement, tickets for the Chicago Sky versus Fever game, hosted at the iconic United Center, dropped a stunning 71%. Let that sink in. A game in a major arena lost its pull almost overnight. It wasn't just a dip in interest either. Fans immediately started canceling plans, venting online about travel costs they no longer wanted to spend without the league's hottest star on the court. It was chaos on social media and in ticket offices. Some even begged for free swag as compensation. Pretty wild, right? And this ripple effect didn't stop in Chicago. Over in Baltimore, where the Washington Mystics had relocated a game, hoping to tap into a larger audience, the plan backfired in real time. Ticket prices for their match plunged 47%. So much for building excitement around the move. Research tells the same story everywhere you look. Take this. For Clark's scheduled but now missed games, resale data from TickPick showed prices crashing from an average of $137 all the way down to $80.
Statistical data. The Indiana Fever will play 2 road games during the coming 2-week stretch, both of which were moved by their opponents to arenas with larger capacity, and the ticket prices have drastically dropped. The league will see the flip side of her impact, and there are already initial data points. This is front office sports, no conspiracies, no BS from them. For both games since Clark's injury was announced Monday. Wednesday's Fever game versus the Mystics at CFG Bank Arena in Baltimore has a get-in price of $22.
And it wasn't just about the seats anymore. The vibe inside arenas shifted. Photos of noticeably smaller crowds began circulating, with whole sections of seats left embarrassingly empty. Teams were counting on her name to fill arenas, but without Clark, the buzz was gone. What this really exposed is something deeper. The WNBA had unknowingly tied so much of its energy, fan excitement, and revenue to one player. Caitlin Clark wasn't just a headline, she was the heartbeat. Take her out of the equation, and the entire system looked fragile, teetering on the edge of collapse. But that's only half the story. Because while Clark sat out, wasn't there supposed to be someone else ready to take the lead? All eyes turned to Angel Reese. But how did that go? Let's get into it. Angel Reese has been hyped as the next face of women's basketball. The media loves her story, the personality, the flair on and off the court. With millions of followers across social media, she looks like the complete package. An athlete who can command attention both digitally and on the hardwood. But here's the problem. The numbers tell a different story. When it comes to viewership, ticket sales, and overall impact, Reese isn't delivering the way many assumed she would. Without Caitlin Clark sharing the stage, the so-called Angel Reese effect has been exposed as more of a myth than reality. Let's look at what's been happening. Caitlin Clark's games this season averaged a jaw-dropping 1.178 million viewers. And with that kind of momentum, it's no wonder her matchups were driving fans into arenas. But take her out of the equation, total collapse. The WNBA's non-Clark games, including those featuring Angel Reese, have averaged just 394,000 viewers. That's nearly a threefold drop in fan engagement. Reese's appearances were meant to soften the blow of Clark's absence, but instead, they've exposed the gap between internet fame and drawing power in professional sports. The Chicago Sky is a perfect example. Without the Fever and without Clark, ticket sales for Sky games featuring Reese barely moved the needle. Even at major arenas, Reese wasn't commanding significant crowds. And despite her huge online presence, she's got millions of followers. Most of that attention isn't translating into action. People might like her posts, but they aren't buying seats or tuning into broadcasts. A source sums it up perfectly. There's a huge difference between a star and a draw. The WNBA bet big on Reese filling the void left by Clark, but so far the gamble hasn't paid off. The bottom line? Angel Reese might dominate on social media, but when it comes to keeping the league afloat, she's no Caitlin Clark. And if this experiment says anything, it's that the league might need a new playbook. So, where does this leave them? Let's really break that down next. Caitlin Clark's injury didn't just shake up the league. It exposed how much the WNBA's success hinges on her. For months, her meteoric rise masked a fragile foundation. Without her, ticket sales crumbled, TV ratings plunged, and the excitement vanished almost instantly. The reliance on a single player is risky, and it left the league scrambling for answers. This is a wake-up call for the WNBA. Building long-term success means investing in multiple stars, not putting all the weight on one. Can the league adapt? Or will it stay on this shaky path? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.